Tennessee.
What are some of the qualities that you bring to the
I just think I'm going to Travis Hunter.
Travis, talk a little bit about your journey to get to this point and your feelings that are going through your mind.
My journey was just me just being focused. I realized I only had a couple years to get to this moment, so I put all these years and I focused in, I honed in on my goal. Ice cream.
Travis,
my bad.
What's the message you would like to say to your new teammates? Excuse me.
What's the message?
Yeah.
Let's get to work.
Tennessee Titans.
Cam, what are some of the qualities that you may be bringing to the table that your new teammates may not know about you?
I just think I'm a locker room guy. That's something that I think I'm really bringing to the table. I love to have a good time with my guys. Really motivate my guys. Really just be a good teammate. I think if you're a good teammate, you're a good locker room guy. A lot of stuff to take care of yourself on the field.
What are some of the challenges you're looking forward to?
Learning a new playbook. Obviously, better competition, each and every week, and just getting better in the places that I need to, so that I can be an asset, to the team off the rip.
If you can envision the perfect play, how would you draw it up?
4th and 13. Definitely 4th and 13.
Will, what were some of the thoughts that were going through your mind when you heard your name called and walked across the stage?
Yeah, just a lot of emotions. I'm super blessed to be able to, sit here in front of you guys, but it's just, like lifting a house off your shoulders. There's so much that goes into this, and for all of this, just to be able to hear your name called is a lifelong dream of every player that enters their name in this draft. So for it to happen and happen early, I can't even explain the feeling.
Okay, who are some of the players you looked up to growing up?
Troy Polamalu was my favorite safety. It's funny. I watched a lot of YouTube when I was a kid, so just hearing about people's stories and backgrounds, and I remember watching Ray Lewis and him tell his story, and just watching the way that he played football. It's special. So a lot of elite guys who the elite of the elite, who I watched growing up, and those are the guys who I want to learn from, and I want to show respect to the guys that came before me.
Shamar, I'm a believer in maximizing your opportunities. How will you maximize your opportunity?
Just by not taking anything for granted. What got me here is the work. I always work no matter what. I worked to be better. I worked to become a star in college. That's what got me here. That's what's going to keep me here.
Mason, you were the first of 3 defensive tackles taken in the first 16 picks. What does it say about the position and how much it's needed in this draft?
Yeah, I feel like the position's just, growing. I feel like, us as D tackles, we affect every play, whether run or pass, so I feel like it's really important, to start the D-line up front, especially, Coach Schwartz, he loves, D-line, and he calls the D-line the engine, so everything's going to run through us, and, the team's going to be determined, how we play.
What's one of the biggest obstacles you've had to face in your career?
One of the biggest obstacles? Really, just adversity. A lot of adversity. Injuries. My father being gone and being incarcerated. Me having to grow up. As a young boy and as a, into a young man, and always having my family there for support, stuff like that. And I think just growing into your own, and understanding what do you want to be, and what's your why, and who do you do it for? It's very big, especially for those young athletes that's out there.
With your training and workouts, does anything change? Are you open to change?
One more time.
With your workouts and how you've been used to working out and training, does anything change, or do you stay what makes you feel comfortable?
Whatever it takes for me to get better, I just keep finding ways to get better.
How critical are you yourself for your own play? Do you critique yourself a lot, or try to adjust as much as possible?
I'm definitely my biggest critique.
you know, you got to watch the bad. That's the only way you're going to fix it. You know, I don't just get caught in looking at the good plays, but I get caught looking at the bad plays to see what I can improve in my game to not allow that bad play to happen again.